guys. So I changed some things around. I don't know if how much better or worse this sounds than last time. We'll see. Hi everybody. Yippee. What's this? There we go. Yay. This music is really nice. Let's do like one. Well, actually, they're both threes, aren't they? So they're in here. Oh wait, no, because it's a 3 and a ego, and he's a 2-star, right? Let's try it once. Oh well. Eh? Oh. Oh? Shit. Yo. Okay. That's good. That'll make this easier to do. Oh, I realize I need to fix the title. Twitch. Jolly. Is Twitchy okay? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Sorry, guys. Just had to do that real quick. Got one. Oh, we got them both on one! Yeah! Let's go. Perfect. I need to go brag about this to my friend real quick. Hold on. Take picture. Oh, where is she? This will make it so much easier.
아른거리는 불에 홀려 다가온다면 흔적도 없이 태워버릴 뿐.
Yeah, there we go. Time for more reading. A hallway within the LC. The child. Sorry, let me try that again. The child, who'd been analyzing the mass data, suddenly senses 2 sets of eyes intensely focusing on her back. This was unusual. She briefly turned around and realized that the source of the intense gazing was their new junior researcher, who joined just yesterday. What could possibly be the reason for the staring, she wondered. especially when she was already with another senior researcher. But she could not imagine why, until the pair began talking. Huh, I thought all ego gear worn by the LCE looked ridiculous, but the one she's wearing looks pretty clean. It almost looks workshop made. Perhaps you found the ego gears of the LCE odd, for unlike the gears of the Lobotomy Corporation, various inhuman features such as tails or scales may sprout from their users. Yet, hold not to so much envy in your heart for her gear, for many failed to find it within themselves to don it. What? But the ego gear looks so cool! For it may go boom. Shall it be during battle or during study? One cannot say. Perhaps it may erupt even now. Wait, then the child, unable to bear this any longer, paused and turned around. Please refrain from sharing rumors of ambiguous sources to new hires, he sang. Come on, were you trying to prank me again? I had wondered for what cause you could possibly have for bringing someone else along, but it does not seem to have been for any productive purpose. Well, he did not lie, to be precise. It is indeed true that this ego gear is prone to reactions of explosive nature. Yet, the safety trials have already been completed regarding such risks. There is no reason to fear. I don't know. I don't think I'd ever feel safe if I had to wear that. Isn't it too risky? Most subjects of study here at LCE are fraught with risks of unknown nature. One cannot hope to accomplish anything should they flee before high-risk research projects. Researchers must endeavor to be able to explain the fundamentals of their operations and thus face what dangers may lie ahead of established conclusions. You would do well to remember that if your aim is to accomplish anything here at the LCE through research. I can read. I have reading comprehension, I swear. That's true. Whatever you guys are dealing with here at the LCE, the abnormalities, the distortions, are simply haven't seen or heard of anything like them anywhere else. I'll remember that. Be not so harsh on him, for it has been 2 days since his onboarding. He sang, perhaps you should adjust your attunement level with that ego. Ahem, it may be that in the process of welcoming a promising junior researcher, I've allowed my mischievousness to get out of hand. Yes, well, then I'll excuse myself. She must have had nothing more to say, because she whipped around and began walking away, as though her business here was concluded. But the researcher stopped her in her steps. Are you bound for the Pekatula laboratory by any chance? Yes, I am to participate in a combat capacity test. Then will you perhaps bring my junior with you for a field trip? He's yet to be assigned a task, and I find him ill-prepared to join me for an abnormality management work. Very well. It's unusual for researchers of most companies to be involved in any degree of combat. This seemed to have piqued the junior researcher's interest. Whoa, combat tests? Yes, it guarantees results, should it succeed. Suppression work effectively. Abnormality or distortion containment breach suppression efficiency. Not to mention the various additional data that can be procured from engaging them in combat. But the junior researcher didn't have much time to ask his questions, as they arrived at the laboratory within minutes. The child walked into the laboratory alone as the junior researcher watched through the glass window. The Pekatula in there surrounded the child as though they were drawn by something. You're gonna be okay, alright? No variables of any risk have been observed. Rising attunement level. Resonating. The child soared towards the ceiling, making some distance between herself and the gathering Pikachu. This must have been made possible thanks to her assimilation rate, also known as her attunement rate. Normally, this wouldn't have been possible even with a high attunement rate, but the LCB ego were different. Whoa, wait, winged egos can fly? I thought they were just for show. Not necessarily. Most winged ego gears do not have flight capabilities. Indeed, it is true that as long as high attunement levels can be maintained, it can utilize the source abnormalities' idiosyncrasies with greater flexibility compared to the Lobotomy Corporation ego. By gaining a deep understanding of the abnormality, and by maintaining, even for a brief moment, empathy for it. She was able to temporarily raise her attunement level by her own volition. Perhaps, in a way, it is closer to the usage of actual ego rather than the ego gears of the Lobotomy Corporation. I see. So I should try my best to raise my attunement levels. Maybe so, but overinvestment is discouraged. Deeper studies and observation may cause the wearer to be consumed by the ego. Like so. The child's moves began to grow increasingly flashy as she burns Spectula away one by one, spreading embers everywhere, just like the abnormality Arder Blossom Moth. That's when a sudden crackling noise echoed through the laboratory. It wasn't anything special, considering that the entire chamber was practically on fire. But the junior researcher couldn't help but flinch out of fear, given what the senior researcher from earlier had told him. Are you about to blow? Were I to raise the attunement level further, yes, I would explode. But I don't intend to, of course. There is still much that must be studied. Just as that bizarre heat began to coalesce around her, the child closed her eyes as though she were emptying her thoughts, and the flames were extinguished. The burning wings, the fire that had traced the path of her weapon, all gone. Just as the experiment was over, the researcher ran up to the child, mesmerized. That was awesome! Crazy how you could so freely control your attunement to the ego just like that. Think I can be a researcher like you, Miss Faust? It is inadvisable to do so, however, though it may appear as though the attunement levels were freely controlled. Not even Faust may be free from the effects of corrosion. It was indeed the child's natural disposition to welcome risk in pursuit of knowledge. However, this child here is more extreme than others, given that she is affected by the ego. That is why this child does not wish for this junior researcher to walk the same path as she does. Always exercise utmost caution when raising attunement levels, especially when you are in the source abnormality's immediate presence. Watching the researcher nod vigorously, the child began cleaning up the testing chamber. So she failed to notice a look of ominous passion in the researcher's eyes. Ego and attunement to the abnormality. Failing to see the misfortune that the burning embers of his passion will one day spark. Got 40 for that? I swear that's more than usual. What's the requirement? At 30 plus, oh, gain burn? Is there a way to consume burn on yourself? Lose 5 burn once per turn. On evade, lose 5. You lose 10. I see. Degraded corrosion. guess no more Grip Faust. We get Ardor Faust. And then Poise. It's a Poise one, right? Yeah, Poise. What does this replace? Oh, it replaces Red Eyes Open. Interesting. Yeah, that. You get that, sure. Excuse me. It's the passive. Next turn, after using this ego, gain Nebulizer B. Once per turn. If skilled defeated enemy, gain additional equal to number of targets defeated. If the skilled defeated allies gain targets defeated times 2 additional nebulizer. This value stacks over the encounter's duration. Max 5, this effect persists when activating Pride A res. On combat start, apply 3 poise plus 3 poise count on self. And stack allies, prioritize allies, gain that. Per stack? Gain deep breath. On crit, at 15 poise potency and 5 count, consume poise potency and count to deal extra damage and lose a stack. Yeah. There we go. It's good. Let me put this on actually for her. Why not? Time for fun. Let's go. Sage. I converted everything because I'm so smart.
이번엔
소재가 좀 원하시는
책임은 나를 불렀나? 지정
어쩔 형 의뢰가 들어왔나요? 형님과 누님들을 위해 퀘스트 확인했어요.
Yeah, I know. Don't worry about
찢을까?
Vi Sinclair down there. Shh. It's okay. I look from beyond the glass window as sinners batter furiously inside the large indoor arena. Damned imbeciles, what's the point of everyone rushing at the same enemy that's already staggered and nearly dead? House has attacked that entity first. The blame lies flatly with the others' delayed decisions. Apologies, yet concerned was I that to not dispose swiftly of the foe would... I think this is a great show of teamwork. I had no idea how hopeless the sinners were in battle without my command. Damn it. Why wouldn't any of you listen to my orders? Oi, your genius order was how the lass's head ended up dangling from 1/4 of a neck. Ahem, it was a necessary sacrifice to gain an edge in battle. Were they not? How befitting of a hero it is to perish in the face of a creature. Yeah. Donkey! Oh, that's cute. Don Quixote falls before the merciless onslaught of enemies. I had so many things I wanted to say to them, most of which were variations of "you're doing it wrong," but I had no choice but to watch as their woefully abysmal decisions continue to bungle the fight. If I try, the researcher next to me will get in my way, claiming that they haven't finished collecting the data. This one's reaction speed to emergencies is exceptionally fast. So, can I hear them now? Can I help them now? Will you stop pacing? Compose yourself. We're almost done here. That should be more than enough data. Take control, manager. I had a lot I wanted to say, but let's help listeners out of this bind first. I see. Fun. It's envies. Oh, you. Oh, that's so fun.
다가오지 마세요. 이 불꽃은
It looks so nice. What level are these? 47? I sure haven't tried this. Are you kidding? Okay, you can hit that. They consider this a burn to you? What is this? Maybe I should have uptied her one more.
이 불꽃이
These uptight 4? These
어디까지
are.
수 있으니
Anyway. Six is going to Ryoshu. She's favored for. Her favorites for this.
전투응대에 나선다.
Come on, Faust. What is this? Come on, guys.
내 작품에 의견이라도 있어?
It's fine.
캐체어가 진행하겠습니다.
Faust, guys. Why are you all failing this? They're lower level than you. What the fuck? They didn't buff all of them, did they? This is ridiculous. Got one there.
내 작품에
How many am I
의견이라도
off?
있어?
One off, so better.
공감을 준비하고
Ah. Oh, you sang. Oh no. Actually, I'm not gonna let you hit Faust. Hitting Don Quixote was fine.
죄인인가?
자 로신한테 꿈에 닿을 때까지 몇 번이고 대만천의 집중을
We'll shine. I might have to redo this one.
떨거지는 잘라낸다
Huh? The other attack should have went through first. Bullshit. Yeah, it's still fine.
기도해라 다가오지 마세요 이 불꽃은 어디까지라도 번질 수 있으니 다가오지 마세요
I'm not even clicking on Faust. Why are you being so sensitive about this? Yeah. Oh my god, man. Come on.
전투응대에
Oh, bitch.
다류산 소성의 탈취 갈라지도록
점 찍었네.
Somehow did that.
이번에 네 피분수
It works. Somehow. That somehow worked. Just accept it. That went well. As expected of our executive manager, the exceptional development of our strategic genius reminds me of the early years of my career. Of your strategic genius, sorry. Thanks. Got anything to snack on, guys? I'm starving here after that brawl. You will maintain an empty stomach for the duration of the tests. Next on the docket is... I would have asked Marsal for a massage if I knew this was coming. Whose idea was this anyway? Well, if you really want to get into it, we can trace this right back to your vacation request, Gregor. Not that it wouldn't have happened without that, but yeah. Oh, come on, fellas. They're missing a word. There's gotta be more to it than that. Sure there was. Not that it would have made any difference. Because, like Ishmael said, this all began with Gregor's particularly egregious stretching.
오랜 목마름도 어버이를 향한 죄책감도 피를 마시는 순간에는 생각나지 않을 거다. 그러니 가릴 것 없이 마음껏 마셔.
Wow, that sound just now. I didn't know a human body could make that sound like that. Oh, I was just doing some stretches. Can't seem to do them without making these noises nowadays. Oh, what do you mean you can't? That right there's the creaking sound of time ravages. Sync. Oof. I know Dante's been turning the clock to rewind our time, but I feel like my joints are starting to grate. I know what you mean. I definitely don't feel as spry as I used to. Maybe the pain from repeatedly dying. Reviving takes a toll after all. Yeah, dying sure is a pain. That's when Hong Lu flippantly threw out an innocent comment amid the complaining sinners. Speaking of which, isn't it funny how Don Quixote is totally fine even though she's hundreds of years old? She's got to be the oldest of us by a lot, right? Hong Lu's unprompted catapulting of such a heavy subject brought the busy air inside the bus to a sudden stifling halt. I thought we were going to take some time to actually broach that subject, but you just bulldozed through the whole mess, huh? I must have made things awkward. I didn't realize everyone was so sensitive about their age. Tis not to concern thyself with, but not so. Of course, there was also someone who could not care less about the bus's air quality. Oi, Scoot! That's my designated seat. You're planting your arson. I'll whack ya. On the other hand, here's this guy without a care in the world. Almost makes me wonder if he's even remembers what just happened. Well, maybe this is your chance to get back at him for treating you harshly. Don Quixote, I'm sure you can think. I'm sure I've never seen your eyes sparkle like that before. I am quite fond of the current temperament of our company. Unless young Heathcliff here suddenly morphs into a villainous scoundrel, I nary wish to exact violence upon him. And right, now that that's over with, let's all shut up and keep the chin wag to a minimum, yeah? Seem pretty villainous villainously dickish to me. Anyway, am I the only one thinking that it's about time we got the thing? The thing? Oh, you know, the thing where we tried a while ago. We're gonna get to enjoy due to some unforeseen issues. Deathmatch. Not that. Don't you remember? We even played volleyball by that big body of water. Contextual clue suggests he is making a request for a vacation. Yep, absolutely, yep. Let's go. I'll go to a spa or something. Relax, get massages, loosen up our muscles some. Please? You still have expectations for our employers? Aha! I recall that young Result had given thee quite the exquisite massage, hath he not? I have astute knowledge of the major muscle groups and nerve structures of the human body. For many weeks following that massage, my body was deprived of any sensory stimulation. Thus understood it was the philosophy of Result's physical therapy that the most infallible methodology of convalescence from pain is to remove any and all stimulation, including that of pain. It seems that the time is here. Virgilius? Yes, I knew this day would come, eventually. Day's here. Why is everyone acting so serious all of a sudden? Rodian's observation is correct. While turning the clock does indeed turn the time, a certain degree of exuberating fatigue cannot be alleviated. This necessitates that we employ a certain measure to verify the status of each center. What could it possibly be that needs this much build-up? In other words, it is time for Limbus Company's GULP, dramatic gulping noise. Regular checkup. Regular checkups? We did get a call from the higher-ups a while ago requesting that we send the sinners in for a regular checkup. But it was repeatedly delayed due to several limiting circumstances on our end. They've been obnoxiously hounding us for some time. I was starting to get tired of explaining our absence. Checkup? What checkup? Don't be on edge, Heathcliff. Such proceedings are regular occurrences at most corporations. I've never personally experienced it myself, but it sounds like you're just checking to see how we're doing health-wise. I turned around, getting ready to say, right, Ishmael? Only to come face to face with Ishmael's shocked expression frozen onto her face. Well, this is unexpected. I thought Ishmael, with her worldly experience, would leap onto this opportunity to lecture us all about how things worked outside Limbus Company. Regular checkups are... Oh, you're gearing up to explain what it is. Coolio. You got 30 seconds to wrap it up. Ready, set, go. No, not the regular checkups. Miss Ishmael's expression seems to suggest otherwise, Miss Rhodia. I did hear that some fictional offices or associations employ varying methodologies when it comes to regular checkups, depending on their characteristics. Locked up until there's only one left standing. Locked blood of my colleagues. Only key to escape. What kind of checkup did she have to go through? Ishmael wasn't the only one responsible with the pale-faced, abject horror at the suggestion. To be fair, that does sound like something Ahab would do to be a piece of shit. Do you even understand the kind of regular checkup you're getting into? I'm asking if you're prepared to go through the regular checkup, no matter what happens in the process. Are you prepared to endure through everything that... What's wrong with this book now? Making me yawn. Mate's looking all pale. I don't understand why everyone's making such a big deal out of this. I don't think it's that bad. I think we used to have annual health checkups back in school too. What kind of checkups? They'd put us all in the same room, measuring heights, weights, running some basic fitness tests. Prithee, wherefore do they seek the measurements of such characteristics? Must you really ask? A full knowledge and analysis of each soldier's status is indispensable knowledge to officers to have on hand. What soldiers? I was talking about my school. Right, so that doesn't explain shit about why you need to know that, does it? Why'd they find it necessary to spray people with those stinking chemicals just to see if someone's got lice in their clothes? He must have gone through his share of rough checkups to his kids, I guess. You all keep asking questions with the most obvious answers. In fact, I've been wondering where they test us. Otis confidently marches up to the front of other sinners with an assertive grin as though she had been waiting for this moment. The true purpose of this checkup must be to elect a true authority amongst us. A true authority? By your parlance, true authority, could it be that you are questioning who among us is our leader? But I'm standing right here. I humbly request that you avoid plaguing yourself with any unnecessary misunderstandings about my suggestion, Executive Manager. Of course, I must preface this with the declaration that there cannot be an iota of doubt towards Executive Manager Dante's authority. Okay. But was this not always a topic of great contention among us? That which of us is most fit to command this squad of sinners? Isn't it Ishmael? Maybe Faust? That's what I thought too. This lack of cohesion is precisely why we always fail to face our enemies as a team. Always scrambling always underprepared, always taken by surprise. You must always be ready to drop to the ground and give 500 push-ups whenever your superior commands you to do so. Always maintain the willingness to sacrifice your well-being and life for the sake of the glorious victory of your allies. It's all missing. Where's your readiness for self-sacrifice? No one's arguing with you, Otis. Who are you even talking to? So to summarize, the regular checkup entails putting us all in a small room and making us fight to the last understanding. Silence fell among us at Honglu's succinct summary. Battle Royale. I've been looking forward to this. Fuck it. I'll give you one hell of a fight. My fist used to be bloody infamous in the back streets. Fine. So that's how we're going to do this, huh? I'm ready to roll. Guys, this isn't... Okay, so where are we off to? The Battle Roy... Excuse me. Regular checkup takes place at... Sinners seem to be under some serious misunderstanding about what the regular checkup entailed, but Faust had obviously long given up on correcting them. The headquarters. The headquarters you speak of must be the headquarters of Limbus Company. Yes. Oh, we're finally getting to visit the headquarters? A whole year after they hired us. We should be right on time upon immediate departure. This instant, thou sayest, mine heart is fain prepared. Prithee, allow us some time to prepare our travel provisions. Where's the HQ anyway? Hopefully it's not too far from here. That is a secret. However, I would like to inform you that it exists in a location inaccessible by Mephistopheles. Huh? Oh, come on. How are we supposed to get there if you're not gonna tell us where it is? Inaccessible by Mephistopheles? You're not about to suggest that we board the warp trains again, are you? Fee, I shan't ever board warp trains again. Indeed, we will not be boarding a warp train for this journey. So are we taking the back doors or something? Wouldn't that still count as Mephistopheles? Yeah, good point. Let's take them doors instead. A sound suggestion. However, in lieu of sufficient information regarding each door, the destination may hold an element of randomness. Or due to the variable nature of its activation period, the resultant destination may not reflect our intended end coordinates. Or an unexpected closure mid-passage through the frame may dishoove us to bid the company our last farewells and embark on an untimely journey of no return. Are you sure this is a sound suggestion? Then I'd rather take that bloody train instead. At least we won't remember what happened once it's over and done with. Battle Royale. So, further research was necessary to ensure safe transportation to the intended destinations. Further research? Are you implying that you made modifications to the back door? A close assessment. However, it would be more accurate to say that the back door was merely used as a reference. How did you even make the time for research? Weren't you doing everything with us the whole time? LCA and Faust established multiple communications with a certain new wing aspirant company during the spare hours between our travels to garner multiple cooperation efforts regarding the stabilization of the back door. Ooh, another one? Ooh. Cool. Or no, because LC includes LCA, LCB, LCB, and LCE now. So who's the wing aspirant company? A new wing? Are they looking to take over L Corp's vacancy or something? Quite sharp-burger, but the direction of your intuition could be improved. It is a company seeking to seize the imitation vacancy of the ever-declining W Corp. W Corp. Is that so? Yeah, that makes sense. Stories of W Corp's decline have been spreading more and more as of late, and I'm not surprised that some companies will consider this an opportunity. That's cool. Yes. Newspapers also featured op-eds regarding possible management crisis at W Corp, with many of them discussing the mysterious disappearances as well. I see, so they've been furtively preparing to take over W Corp's position as a wing. But to supplant a wing even before it falls on its own? Now that's certainly peculiar. They must have something, a scheme perhaps in the works. And to ally with such ambitious parties is the headquarters looking to start a war of the wings? At this moment, I'm not privy to such details. Is that why the number's gonna go down so hard? Like on that on the trailer? Miss Otis, we needn't make predictions in such rashness. Recall the W Corp has been mired in troubles. They keep yawning, gosh. Both internal and external, having fallen to such desperation as to seek the assistance of our company. It is no wild presumption to predict that it shall crumble ere the advent of such violent pandemonium. For indeed, insufficient is the bane of technology that brings ruination to those that fail to overcome it. Our research efforts, however, were quite efficient and successful. Its mechanisms are similar to that of the back door, but it eliminates the corridor, instead establishing a direct connection from one door to another. A portal, if you will. Oh, so you resolved all the aforementioned side effects then? Not quite. Similar difficulties to the aforementioned cases were observed. Sometimes the accuracy of the target destination coordinates were lacking, or in other cases the activation period would be cut short, causing the door to shut prematurely and amputate the subject as they were traveling between the doors. There has been much progress in stabilization efforts, however, minimizing parsection incidents. Most recent incidents have been limited to bisections. Bisection certainly is an improvement over pentasection. They both sound equally awful to me. Sob, I would not behold mine own left and right shoes so crudely sundered, forced to be so far apart upon our coming to the headquarters. Well, well. This idle chatters of unnecessary concerns tell me that your bus life must have been too uneventful lately. Ahem. Looks like the research arrived while you were wasting time. I saw a large and unfamiliar vehicle through the window. Is that the vehicle? It's not. It's got no windows though. How tiresome. Now off the bus. On Twitch, note that ads are starting in 5 minutes. If you do not want to deal with ads, you can sub for $5. On YouTube, I don't think any ads have been happening. But note that in, well, now 4 minutes, I should say, we will be pausing for 5 minutes to let the ads on Twitch side go through. Once we disembarked the bus, we made our way to this unfamiliar vehicle of sorts. Its interior was mostly metallic, filled to the brim with convoluted-looking machines, and on the opposite end of the entrance, a massive door loomed over us. Ooh. This is... Assistance from P Corp in the process of developing this device was indispensable. P Corp. Wait, that means in cahoots with young sister, are you? Oh damn, much did I aspire to regale her with the tales of the contract's glorious completion of my heroism and bravery. 'Tis quite unfair of thee to meet her all by thy low singing price. Your concerns will be taken into account next time. Thou seemed relieved. Ah, worry thee not. Thou hast availed us the sight of Limbus Company headquarters. Thy tit has been tatted for. There are numerous reasons for which you were yet to be allowed into the headquarters, but as it would be a fruitless effort to explicate them all, we will not cover that subject here. Whew, glad to hear we're not sitting through another lecture. The primary reason is, however, that there were several limitations to bringing the members of our department to the headquarters, brought upon by frequent trans-nest movements and irregular scheduling of our missions. Why'd you say all that if you were going to explain anyway? Wait, more importantly, what's that about collaborating with P Corp? Boy, here we go again. P Corp singularity can be summarized by the following 4 words. Expansive space warping technology. Oh, right. Didn't you say that Miss Cicera told you something about how the principle of P Corp singularity is a lot like how La Mancha Land works? Right, La Mancha Land was much larger on the inside than it looked from the outside. Oh yeah, I've been meaning to ask. Don't other wings already make liberal use of different kinds of space-expanding singularities? It's, how should I put this? Isn't it a bit too mundane of a city technology for P Corp to call space manipulation this unique thing? That was quite the intelligent question. Compliments. How nice. Ishmael's correct in suggesting that the technology to expand a given space is commonly employed. I can't read. Try that whole sentence again. Ishmael is correct in suggesting that technology to expand a given space is a commonly employed technology by other wings as well. An example of one such invention making use of the space expansion technology, but isn't a P Corp singularity, would be Mephistopheles. The ultimate purpose of P Corp space expansion technology is to create the safest place in the world. A perfectly protected construct, its interior sheltered from the world outside no matter how severely its exterior is battered. To have a safe structural integrity no matter what, its interior is safe from any and all harm. Therefore, the more expensive the P Corp product is, the safer its interior is from danger, outside conditions such as extreme pressure or shock. I believe we are going to have ads in a second. Twitch. Perhaps the way in which the interior is completely insulated from the outside is comparable to a full disconnect from the outside world by sheltering in a separate dimension. ads? Are you gonna start? I saw the countdown go away. In conclusion, the exterior of this vehicle utilized P-Corp singularity, which means that it can protect its interior from all forms of impact. Not to mention that it has enough room to hold more than 13 people inside. There's the ads. Sorry, we wait for 3 minutes, not 5. Everyone get up and do something for 3 minutes.
야만 차랜들을 뒤엎는다.
고통.
눈감을 준비하고
다가오지 마세요. 이 불꽃은 어디까지라도 번질 수 있으니.
가족을 위해 실밥이 터졌나?
합격장.
흐르는 피로가 떨거지는 잘라낸다.
캐치 소각되었습니다.
즉시 꿈을 꾸러 가도 쏟아내 가족을 위해
비뚤어졌구려.
실밥이 터졌나?
이 또한 용서할 테니.
쏟아내 무기를 만드는 것만큼 내가 어버이보다 뛰어났지. 떨거지는 잘라낸다. 즉시 꿈을 꾸러 가도 수응대에 나선다. 꿈을 꾸러가는
패치 소각되었습니다.
이제야 완성되었나?
기원을 갖지는 그대로 무너져라.
I'm muted, holy shit. I'm so bad at this. Scuff stream, let's go. They don't get to keep the fucking jacket? No. Bro, come on. Gotcha. By the way, can you take a look at my wrist here before we actually get started? I've been feeling a lot of soreness here. Dante won't turn the clock just for me, you know? Turning of the clock for such trivialities may cause the formulation of unfavorable habit. Perhaps Result can remedy your pain. I am always prepared to administer necessary aid should you request it. Actually, you know what? I'm totally fine now. Don't you worry. Please stand still. If you think I can't see some of you on your tiptoes, you'd be very wrong. Heels on the ground, please. But my heels are on the ground. Hey. And can you snuff out your cigarette before the test begins? Oh, this one isn't lit. It's just there so I can look cool. Aha. And what about bold? Let's scram. Okay, but the basic group tests are... So the basic group tests are complete. I seem to have forgotten something quite important I had to establish prior to beginning the tests in earnest. I need an assistant. An assistant? I need an assistant to help me smooth out the testing procedures. You got two of them already right behind you if you need directions. Oh, we're not Mr. Hohenheim's assistants. We're specifically assistant researchers. Yes, of course. There's much that distinguishes these occupations. I would like for one of you to be my assistant for the duration of this checkup. Rodian suddenly raised her hand. I wasn't planning on asking for volunteers, but now that you've raised your hand, I'll give you the floor. Don't ask me to do it. It's just not my vibe, you know? I'll take a researcher job, though. I'm a big fan of her style. Rodian trailed off, greedily caressing the clothes of one of the researchers. What are you doing? I didn't really have you in mind anyway, but duly noted nonetheless. I would also like to refuse your nomination. The position of his assistant to Hohenheim implies that said assistant is, when it comes to skill, inferior to the person they're assisting. Again, I didn't have you in mind either, but your passionate expression of intent is nonetheless appreciated. I wonder who came up with this brilliant idea of putting two smartasses together to waste time pointing out each other's minor mistakes. If I were about to talk about myself, I'd have to help him by saying that I was a class vice president in school, a diligent model student who studiously facilitated the task of class president in which with everyone getting so anxious to get picked here. Do you fellas actually want to be his assistant? Getting in front and center of things is just bothersome, you know? I kind of felt like I had to apply for the position for some reason. Well, the decision has already been made. Do note that selection criteria is fully based on my very subjective opinion. You there, orange-haired sinner. Ishmael already threw me to the ground as she confidently strode up to the front of the line. Or almost threw me to the ground. Oof. Greetings, Mr. Hohenheim. As you must be aware, if you're taking a look at my documents, I've rarely let anyone down during my various tenures at offices and associations. You'll have nothing to worry as long as I'm by your side. Also, can I add this experience to my resume if I get a chance to submit a transfer request to work at the headquarters? Didn't know you were still holding on to that hope. I called on you to ask you to move because you were standing in front of the center I choose. Oh no! Everyone turned around to look at Heathcliff, who was absent-mindedly scratching at the bridge of his nose. Huh? Me? Me? It seemed that Ishmael was even more shocked than Heathcliff was. Wait, but why? I'm right here. Why would you pick someone like... It's a common misconception among many researchers to assume that the higher their level of education and the more elaborate their resume, the better candidate one makes for a research project participant. But that's just common sense, isn't it? At least when it comes to research. However, were you aware that most great discoveries are made from a potent mix of spontaneity and intention? A perfect descriptor for our friend here, I would say. What would you say, Heathcliff? I believe that this aggressive and passionate approach of yours gives you more than sufficient qualification to command and lead them in my stead. Is that right? He replied, scratching his head. Be honest now, you saying, yo, we're kinda looking forward to getting picked, weren't you? It is but fate that things were once good in the eyes of the mainstream are to be made less desirable with the passage of time. Oh, no, he sang, bro, no. And when one does indeed fall out of favor, the intelligentsia of the bygone days must rightly excuse themselves to realm of memories and past. Yisang replied with a particularly downcast look. I'm glad to have you on board as my new assistant. Righty-ho, so, what have I got to do now? Nothing too complicated. You only need to liberally express your free spirit, just as you are now. Aha, now I see what he's doing. Hohenheim sure knows which one of the group to coax to make things go over smoothly. Martin whispered quietly to me in a voice that only I could hear.
일부 통화율 정상.
That's
대체
fun.
행동 패턴 추출 완료. 이 정도 성과라면 다음
How many
연구로 이어나갈
levels
수
are
있겠군요.
there? 14! The assistant. Man, he looks so cool with his jacket on. Let's go. Heathcliff, seemingly eager to, as Hoheim has suggested, express his free spirit to the best of his capabilities. Alright, you there. Get in line. Single file, lads. Let's make it easy for all of us. Aren't you also participating in the test with the rest of us, Heathcliff? Yeah, but I'm the assistant. Oh my god. You got glasses? Since when did you wear glasses? Glasses are basic apparatus for law researchers. He gave his assistants all glasses. I love this. Look, slightly pushing up the glasses helps to put on an air of a studious, learned individual. Like so. Just like how slightly pushing up the frames of my glasses while wondering what to have for lunch makes it seem as though I'm contemplating on the more profound aspects of life. Oi, let's not make this any harder than it's gotta be, lass. Snuff out that cig in your mouth. Been a while since I heard a pig squeal. Blimey, can't you just do as I say for once? Huh? He's actually pretty effective. It seems that we are not ready to conduct the test. Now ready to conduct the test, finally. The primary purpose of this test is to see on a physical level how your current ability scale compared to yourselves before your hiring. I see, so they're trying to see how much they've progressed since before they joined the company. I had a feeling this would happen, but the mere mention of the words progression caused a rather loud ruckus among the sinners. If I were to speak for myself, Executive Manager, I can confidently say that the thought of progressing as a person in all aspects of life is ingrained into my very being. Thus, as a fruit of those efforts, I have grown to be much more precise and scathing in my critique of the other mistakes. Is that progress, though? Perhaps I have learned to let certain thoughts rest in favor of others. I once allowed myself to be trapped in overlong ruminations on worries of all manners, idly abiding as I was consumed by my very thoughts. Now I have come to accept certain things as they are. Oh. And I've come to sometimes allow my mind to form bereft of rigorous reason, floating away gently as though on a rolling stream. Is that not quite pleasant? Okay, I guess that is progression of sorts. Actually, good job, you saying. Pretty sure I'm less of a picky eater than I used to. My grip tastes much stronger too. Oh. Look, I think I'm getting calluses on my palms. Well, you don't really have to try to prove it to us, because the enemies we're fighting have been getting stronger too. That's an undeniable truth. We did experience a pretty spectacular year, you know. A brutal year, yet so potent with significance. True. I guess growth really does come with time, huh? Right? I feel like the bonds between us got a lot deeper. We've all grown closer, you know, like glue. Like glue, huh? I like it. A certain misunderstanding seems to be brewing in tandem with this uplifting exchange of heart-to-hearts. Allow me to step in and nip it in the bud. Let me give it to you straight. All of your abilities were diminished the moment you were hired by this company. Equally defanged and depowered, if you will. Equally defanged? In other words, all of your abilities have been brought down to the same general level as our 11th sinner here. Why am I the point of reference? If this is what you mean by earlier by growing closer like glue, then I suppose it was quite the apt choice of words. Oh wait, take that back. I take it back? Nah, so you're not really that much stronger than I am, huh? Wow, Sink, is that the sound of your sense of self-preservation shattering into the ether? That's it, you bloody... Excuse me, I need to know why that happened. Did we all get depowered because of the golden bow? Wait, does this have anything to do with those chains that appeared when we first entered into a contract with Dante? Indeed, one of the powers of a golden bow is connection. We are now all fairly even and equally mediocre. Hohenheim's comment and the subsequent stare seemed a bit targeted. Think of it as something akin to Quaifoff deterrence employed at the Lobotomy Corporation. So the truth is finally revealed. Was why I, Otis, grew so pathetically weak the moment I joined this company. Art thou implying that thou hast always known? Of course, had I been in my prime, I could have wiped the floor with you miserable doormats in a matter of seconds. You wipe floors with doormats? Man, we're also prone to saying whatever once the burden of proof is gone, huh? So that's why my murder's arm's been quiet ever since they hired me. It didn't really have anything to do with my heart, after all. Gregor, wait, what's with the use of all this chatter? What matters is that we've all been brought down to the level of this lad. But I got calluses on my palms. Yet not all of the golden bow's effects must have been of detriment to us. Yisang started, carefully attempting to navigate through conversation that appeared to be turning into a tinderbox. Was it not the advantages granted to us by the golden bow impaled in the pallid whale of the Great Lake by which we triumph? What, really? Correct. Had the pallid whale been at its full strength, it is highly likely that we may still have been trapped inside its stomach, struggling to survive. Also, it can also be said that the diminishing effect was not applied in equal measure across all affected subjects. That makes sense, I guess. I never could have knocked Heath out with one punch if I was only as strong as Sink. It's a really handy trick, you know. Additionally, certain individual quirks cannot be suppressed by the Golden Bow. Certain quirks that one may consider to be an individual's idiosyncrasies. Oh, that explains Ryoshu's impressive blade work with Mr. Bumble back at the T-Corp factory. Wouldn't waste my breath boasting. You never do anyway. Well, if your strengths have indeed progressed since the onboarding, then the average must have risen as well. One of the purposes of these tests is to measure that very difference. So what exactly goes into these tests? I know there's a district that uses a machine that can analyze most aspects of the subject with a quick scan. So is it going to be something like that? There are dozens, if not hundreds, of ways to determine one's abilities without the assistance of machinery. In fact, I know of a perfectly appropriate methodology for this group. Perfectly appropriate methodology. We spent some time out of our busy schedules to tailor each test for each center of the LCB. That was pretty tough. I'll have you guys know. Tailored test for each center, huh? I don't really like the sound of that, if you ask me. We will utilize the pectula and the distortion phenomena. Huh? That doesn't sound like much. Sound much like some super innovative method you were building up to. What a letdown. Right? Honestly, for all their talk, I thought they'd come up with something more impressive than that. Assistant. Alright, that's enough chatter. Now get in there. Heathcliff with glasses! Yes! Oh. We get twos. Oh, this is fun. Okay. Sinclair and Honglu. Yeah, you have a game voice count. Put you both together.
어머, 부탁드려요.
This is interesting. I like this. Let's see. First one on the blocks. Heathcliff had already begun flipping through the papers in his hands. What an unfamiliar sight. Right, you and you there, inside now. Heathcliff, the assistant, pointed toward Honglu and Sinclair. Hello, 1-2 testing. Am I coming through? As you must be well aware by now, the pectula are entities that have failed to even distort. It seems like we'll be fighting the pectula again. Oh, right. I have a question. It's something that's been nagging at me the whole time since I arrived. Aren't these tests basically just us killing people for no reason? They're all safely contained, which means that they don't pose any danger to anyone. Why is he being such a bleeding heart all of a sudden? Oi, we've been slaughtering countless scores of those sods, so what's the holdup now? Yeah, but we didn't have any choice back then because we were on a mission, and do you believe that taking a life to live is unlike taking life for the sake of it? I do. I understand. It seems that human memory is, after all, made to be finite. Save for a few exceptional individuals, people are prone to misplacing memories even from yesterday. So, who are they, Dante? Did I miss a dialogue? No. Who do you believe they are, this group you lead? Given the expected communication difficulties between us, allow me to make this a multiple choice question. 1 family, 2 friends, 3 colleagues. They're close to colleagues? Dante says 3 colleagues. Hung Lu is practically squished against the containment unit window, holding up three his fingers. Yep, 3 of his fingers. He must have heard us talking. Incorrect. It's none of the above. The truth is that they are sinners, not family, not friends, not colleagues. Prisoners. I know. Ah, but the knowledge of something and the acceptance of it must be distinguished. I learned that people are prone to forgetting their place when going gets easy, when life becomes comfortable enough for them to consider the luxury of timely meals to be a certainty. Thus, I find these reminders to be quite useful. These sinners, bound to Limbus company, are still fettered by their chains and shackles. Naturally, they have no access to such a thing as the right to refuse. Or would it be easier for you to accept that fact if I were to suggest that you consider this but a mere extension of your responsibilities? I know they're sinners, but you can't talk to them like... translations are necessary. I think I get the picture of what was said, given the atmosphere of this room. Dante, when you agreed to the contract, you must have made a deal of sorts, to gain something to your benefit, am I correct? Your memories, your head, your past. There must be so much that you would like to know, and perhaps your desire to get them back is what stops you from simply quitting. What I mean to say with this little demonstration is that no one in this room has any right to grumble or refuse. Faust, is he usually... Yes, this is his usual demeanor. Hello, I know I'm not the one to talk, but you don't exactly have a lot of friends, do you? Those who rise above their peers tend to attract a certain degree of hostility from others. Now, shall we begin? We are severely behind schedule. While the combatants do what they do, please pay attention to the following presentation about the Pecatula projected onto this class panel. This lecture has been prepared with the assumption that its students have an average level of knowledge, so if you consider this presentation to be boring or too difficult to understand, you may consider your knowledge level to be below average. All this material seems quite elementary to me. Not sure what's so difficult about this. Yeah, save that for when the lecture actually starts. As you must already know, there are several categories of Pecatula, and as far as I'm aware, the highest stage of Pecatula you observed was in stage 3, so far at least. Wherefore didst thou utter a little muttering of so far at least, at the end of thine words, good sir? Sharp. Well, it's simple. Researchers have a habit of avoiding absolutes in all things. Never say never, or so they say. So you're not ruling out the possibility that we might be running into Pecatula beyond stage 3, huh? Indeed. We prefer not to put down such arbitrary limitations. Anyway, the first type of many Pecatula to be covered today is Pecatula ire, red Pecatula of wrath. The nature of fire is to burn, and burn until there's nothing left to be burned. See, that's quite literally burning with rage. Now that I think back on it, didn't you express something like that before, Sinclair? I remember you screaming so fierce that you could hardly control your own body. On the other hand, I don't think I've ever seen you get angry or upset, Honglu. Ah, that's because the realization of meaninglessness extinguishes the reason for the spark to start a fire. Oh, I see now. No matter how much Heathcliff or Miss Otis bully me, expressing my anger at that is meaningless at the end of the day. Okay, I did enjoy a little. Well, I had to accidentally step on Heathcliff's toe. But what exactly is the takeaway supposed to be here? Yes, this is exactly how it is. Oh boy. Oh, they each have 3 slots to leave. This time you condition to ensure that no sinners suffer heavy wounds.
거기구나.
I didn't even read what the thing was.
그 삶의 마침표를.
Every turn start, gain burn equal to turn count. Interesting. So you have to kill them as fast as possible.
타겟 포착. 극소가 전부 꿰뚫렸네. 극소가 전부 꿰뚫렸네. 아직 모자라. 그 삶의 마침표를. 타겟 포착. 현시 방향. 아직 모자라. 타겟 포착. 한시 방향. 극소가 전부 꿰뚫렸네. 다음 목표로.
There's the big boy. All counters with 50 plus HP. I see, I see. next test.
아직 모자라. 여러분들.
Time limit. Faust Mersault Gregor.
주먹으로 맨
이번엔 어떤 실험인가요?
DH의 교리에 따라 행할 뿐.
That's fine, being one level lower. Next up, you three. You get in there. Indoor voice will do, bud. We can hear you just fine without you shouting at the top of your lungs. Now let's discuss Peculum Prigrathi Sloth. Stones are sturdy, but that's all there is to them. They are directionless and unmoving, completely surrendered to inertia. They are trapped in their current location in existence until someone comes along to roll them away. Truly, there is no better symbol for sloth than them. It is efficient to live within the boundaries of rigidly established routines. Getting lumped in with these two making me real self-conscious all of a sudden, like I'm some lazy incompetent. Do not compare yourself to Faust Gregor. Should Faust come to the point of reference for one's competency, the overwhelming majority of the city's population would be deemed incompetent. I'll admit that I'm not the most diligent person in the room, but I'm taking back that comment about being incompetent. Check this out, fellas. I'm not that rusty just yet. Charging alone in danger poses too late. This will be harder than expected. Let us provide assistance. Twitch, you have ads in 4.5 minutes. If you don't want to see ads, subscribe. This time you must suppress the entities as fast as possible.
해체어가 진행하겠습니다.
대인인가?
형태 붕괴, 해체, 소각되었습니다.
영원히 잠들어. 영원히 잠들어.
무지에서 도피하지 말라.
sound okay?
죄인인가?
걷잡을 수 없이 타올라라. 모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
Twitch, you have a minute 30.
지시무지에서 도피하지 말라.
Oh, I've almost used all my turns and I have extra stuff I need to go through. I'm gonna have to redo this one. Need more blood though. Don't have enough blood. Or oh, sloth is efficient, and so is pride. I want blue and orange. Not blue and orange. I have blue and green. That's why these are having issues.
죄인인가? 피를
지식을 맞춰 무지에서 도피하지 말라.
Oh, is a mountain man. He looks like a mountain. Click tremor against attacker when hit as long as there is a remaining shield.
이 또한 지식이 되도록.
해체 어각 진행하겠습니다. 모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
Unless you choose a staggered or heartbroken, take 50% less damage. When hit, inflict 2 tremor against the attacker. If the target has tremor, inflict 2 tremor against all enemies. On hit, after attack, the target is defeated, inflict 4 tremor against all enemies. So yeah, I need light blue, green.
당신에겐 제가 어떻게 보일까요? 시간의 태엽 안에 그 답이 있을까요?
So not those two. Gregor was fine because he didn't have anything that was unfavorable. I just want that though. They're all pierced though. See if this helps.
파우스트가 맞이하죠.
Should be fine. Because my level's out. Excuse me. Yawn.
이 또한 지식이 되도록. 알면 무지에서 도피하지 말라. 지식을 마주하고 겸용하라.
그쪽으로
무지에서 도피하지 말라.
퇴거하시죠.
어찌 보자. 하늘을 찔렀을 뿐.
빛을 마주하고 겸용하라.
이쪽으로.
여기가 뱃속이군. 어제 보자. 하나를 찔렀을
질문은 끝나고 따로 받겠다. 마주하고 겨우지에서 도피하지 말라.
There we go. Perfect.
전투를 통해 잊은 것과 배운 것을 살피고 다시 지식을 쌓아 DH의 일을 해결할 뿐이다.
This is fun. Heathcliff, Rodian, Otis. Gluttony and
밧줄
그러든가.
가자. 죽이러.
Next up is Gluttony. Roots of plants dig through the dirt in search of nutrients. What distinguishes them is, however, that they are not satisfied with satiation alone. The roots continue to grow, seeking increasingly greater supply of nutrients. Hang on a minute, what's this? Heathcliff, after flipping through a few more pages ahead, looked up at Hohenheim and shouted, "Are we really going to do this song and dance for each and every one of these, Spectrum? Why don't we lump them together like how you paired us sinners?" Ha, running low on patience already? Only simpletons would make such a basic suggestion. Standard protocol, in case you weren't aware. I'm also unhappy that about this process, but sometimes we must swallow our complaints and do as we're told for the sake of proper tests. Make a very valid proposition. What? Very well. I also fail to see the necessity of fighting these Spectacula one by one, especially given the busy schedule ahead of us. Your suggestion accepted, assistant. Oh, what, really? Aren't you the one who suggested it? If we didn't have to fight them one by one anyway, then why didn't we do this from the start? Because testing them one by one yields a more accurate result. Studies suggest that the margin of error may grow by 0.06 when testing multiple entities at once. I see, but I say the benefit of a smaller margin of error outweighs the convenience of lumping them all together. Why don't we proceed as planned? Bloody hell, just let it go, yeah? Yeah, Otis, come on. This very carelessness is why I think we can risk a 0.06% greater margin of error. Indeed, it is sometimes necessary to prioritize efficiency over pursuit of perfection. I will abide by the executive manager's judgment. Very well then, allow me to explain to Pectola morositatis. Citatis. Bloom as well. Have you ever immersed yourself in deep waters? Quite easy to sink to the depths, no? However, the deeper one sinks, the harder does it become to rise again. The pressure suffocates you from all directions, no matter how much you thrash around, desperately looking for something to grab onto. All you find is futility, such as glue. I suppose one of the few benefits of working for this company is that its constant motion gives no time for such emotions to drag us down, especially now that I have some level of confidence that they might actually keep their end of the contract. Oh, sounds like a disagreement's brewing. Even after I've joined the bus team, I still feel like I'm floundering deep in some ditch, you know? Though I'm only here because I want to be here still. Are you sure you're in that ditch by choice? Maybe you just don't know how to rise to the surface again. Haha, I I don't appreciate hearing this from someone who doesn't even know what I'm talking about. Well, it's all ready now, and you go. You too, assistant. You aren't exempt from the tests. Me too? Perfect timing. I've been getting a bit tired of all this mental exercise. Right then, let's wrap this up quick. I've been getting tired of this mental exercise. This one is quite complicated to handle spray. It's supposed to before they self-detonate. Okay. One stack. Inflict damage equal to this unit's HP against the target with die. Gain 1 HP heal boost. Fire first?
늘어졌네 저거. 맞추기 쉽군. 가까워진다.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Wonderful.
늘어졌네 저거. 맞추기 쉽군. 보자 너.
This is so fun. I like these. Oh. Pecatilla Moro still test? Question mark? This looks pretty.
보이지 않네. 심장 고동 소리. 모든 고래. 심장 소리. 멈춰도 있을까? 돌아갈 것. 내가.
Lust and pride. One difference. I think that's it. That might be they're like
지점
best two right
공사.
now.
대골 목표 위치로 돌격 중.
Well, they weren't too much trouble. Next up, you two, get in there. With Yoshu? Let's do this, I guess. Is T. But she wants to switch teams. Really? Now? What's your problem with this? Problem this time, Ryoshu? Your dulled harpoon doesn't interest me. It's dulled so much that I doubt it can even impale that sickly nerd over there. I don't think she'll have too much trouble impaling Hohenheim. I'd just rather watch the Blood Fiend fight again. Thou speakest of me? That's, tis quite the pickle. Oh wait, she wants to switch teams, is that alright? Of course not. You heard the man, let's go. I'll admit that my harpoon's not as sharp as it used to be, and I'll admit that I've lost a bit of my edge since then. But we're all sailing on the same boat. I'm not going to hold you or anyone else back. I'm always ready to go back to razor sharpness when the need arises. Swapping you out as soon as you start making a fool of yourself. Last, I thought I had been clear enough of this. Switching teams ain't a thing. Pecatillum Supe. Pride. Hohenheim droned on as if the bickering sinners didn't exist in this world. Wheels, symbols of the technology and the vector of humanity's ultimate pursuit. The wheel, in its boundless pride, rolls on in search of the perfect circle. Something unconquered even by nature. Yet it remains uncaring for the flesh it rends, nor the grass it tramples on in its path. Isn't that just confidence, not pride? You can't get anything done by just sitting idly in place. One might even say that pride is but another name for overconfidence. It oft claims trailblazers or those who have never tasted failure. Someone like you, Hohenheim? Well, that certainly is a perspective. Next up is Luxray. Lust. Moving on just like that, huh? The meaning of Peccatum Luxury, lust, is not exactly what it says on the tin. A more illustrative description would be that it is, an observation to spread a fragment of what forms the self. Desire to propagate, to breed. Of course, there's more to this concept than just that. The word itself may be subject to interpretations limited to the carnal understanding. To share one's knowledge, to one's ideas, to invite others into gaining the understanding of a sliver of oneself. We seek to express that such things are lust as well. Not bad. I always appreciate these discussions with the learned. There never is any dead air. Admit it, Heathcliff, all of that flew right over your head, didn't it? Why even ask? Unnecessary. Shut up and get in there. Ah ha 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 ah ha ha ha.
대가리 딱 떼도
One damage. Let's go. Come on. There you go. That's it. Go Ishmael. His ass. Oh, there you go.
으타! 겁먹어 치워라! 하!
poise, gain 3 additional poise or plus 2 additional poise count. On hit, inflict 2 additional bleed or 1 additional bleed count.
대가리 딱 떼도
지바이에 의뢰했다면
대가리 딱 떼도 최선의 방어.
지바이에 의뢰했다면 대범의 머리가 쪼개지진 않았을 텐데.
Oh man.
대가리 딱 떼도 내 죄는 내가 알아서 처리한다.
That's a giant wheel.
위험인물 발견. 제압할게. 자!
That's 5, I think. Great.
아차! 지금이다. 해골바가지 거미 대가리. 자! 대가리 딱 떼도 최선의 방어를.
On that position. As you can
내 놈들 덕분에 내가 강해진 게 아니야.
I'm sorry.
내가 강하기에 내 놈들을 휘두르는 거야.